"I'll write you a 500-word report and have it ready in 24 hours," said the aspiring young writer, eager to make her online sale. "I agree to your terms," was the only thing the return message stated. "Your payment has been sent, and we will pay extra if the document is completed ahead of schedule, as we said, with an extra bonus if you have it ready in less than 12 hours. In Vandalur, the young Indian girl shrugged. A job is a job, no matter how small, Anika reminded herself as she opened up a new search page to research the ports of India. And I do enjoy these writing jobs, she thought. With so many ports to write about, the problem was going to be how to keep the report under 1,000 words. She leaned back in her chair with a contented sigh. Finally, a challenge to her writing ability. She could easily have it ready in the allotted time, and the bonus would come in very handy. An hour later, Anika typed in the search bar for more information about Port Blair in the Andaman Islands and stared at the monitor, her body stiffening. Her screen had gone blank now except for the words, "You are being watched. Do not react. Follow instructions exactly as they appear next. Your life may depend on how well you can act as if nothing is wrong. You will now pick up your phone and go to the bathroom in your house. Your next message will be on your phone. You have 5 seconds to do as instructed." The screen went blank to a lovely picture of a beach near Port Blair. Anika covered her mouth and pretended to yawn as she picked up her cell phone and stood in one motion. Heart pounding, she walked at a normal pace to reach the small bathroom in the hallway. Closing the door, she leaned back against it, letting her tense shoulders drop. The phone buzzed, and she recoiled, as if it were a snake, almost dropping it on the tiled floor. From her bedroom, she could still hear the radio. The announcer was talking about the latest movies playing in Chennai, only an hour away. The announcement stopped, and an old Elvis song started. Suspicious Minds was always one of her favorites, but now it seemed eerily applicable to her current situation. Glancing at the phone, Anika read the message being texted to her now. "You've agreed to write an article for an American. Have you completed the assignment?" "No, I have 2 days to complete the article. What is going on? Should I call the police?" She texted back. "No, do not call the police. They can't help you. The assignment is a cover for the real purpose this client has for using your services. The article you are working on will allow this client to have a shell document they intend to use to transfer money out of the country illegally. We are tracking them, but in order to gather as much information as possible, you must complete the assignment. After you complete your work, we must also have access to the finished product in order to insert our code that allows us to know where and when the money will be transferred. Do you understand? We're sending the email address and will be in touch again in 6 hours. The screen went black before Anika could send a reply. This just gets stranger and stranger, she thought. She flushed the bathroom toilet, washed her hands quickly, and went back to the computer. Focus on the assignment, she told herself. Just finish the assignment. And after that it would be over and she could figure out what to do next. With no idea as to who her client really was or who was keeping tabs on them, there wasn't anything she could prove and no information to give the authorities anyway. 5.5 hours later, Anika was finishing up the first draft of the report and had begun editing when a message from her client popped up on her work page. "Is the rough draft ready?" "Yes, but I need to edit and polish to make it the quality service I always provide." "That is not necessary. We are sure of the quality of even a rough draft that was written by you. We are ready to transfer the bonus if you can upload the document within the next 15 minutes. Anika thought quickly. She would have to be fast to get this right. "Can you give me 20 minutes? I insist on a couple of sections that must be edited to be just right." 14 minutes now, Anika. We must have it in 14 minutes or there will be no bonus and no extra payment. These people knew her name. She'd only used a screen name on her profile. They must have done some digging. That meant they probably also had her address. "Fine. I will have it ready and uploaded in 14 minutes. Please don't complain about the quality on my website review page. I don't want this to affect any future work orders from clients." But the screen did not flash any more messages, and Anika glanced nervously at the clock. even while keying in a text to the unknown people watching both her and her client. Uploading rough draft now. Can you put code in now? She pushed the send button on her phone and sent the draft as a link in the email. 17 endless seconds later, the answer came back. Got it, encoding now. While she was waiting for the encoded file to be returned to her, Annika got the email set up for the client through her work page. All she would have to do is upload the new file, hit send, and this would all be over. This has to be the most surreal day of my life, she thought. What an adventure. And not one she dared to tell. 4.5 minutes had gone by and her nerves were on edge. Not much time left. This was going to be a close one. The message popped up, file ready. With 1 minute and 45 seconds to spare, Annika hacked into the encoded file, found the tracer code, and disabled it. Inserting her own code into the document, she made a copy for herself and downloaded it onto a USB drive. At 1 minute before deadline, she uploaded the newly encoded file to her client and received confirmation of receipt. She wiped the computer memory clean before throwing it in the incinerator chute in the hallway. Throwing on the borrowed burqa, she was completely covered when she exited the apartment, the USB drive safely in her pocket. It was the only thing she was taking. By this time tomorrow, the money that her client would have sent illegally to some undisclosed location out of his country would show up in her own Swiss bank account. The furnished apartment had been rented under a fictitious male name, and there was no way any of this could be traced back to an Indian girl named Annika. She'd made sure of that.